here's Brody Brazil.
When you think about the Bobby Witt Jr. contract extension with the Kansas City Royals, the first thing that probably comes to mind is commitment. I mean, in terms of years and dollar amounts, the Royals have never offered this to any one of their players in the history of the franchise. But deservingly so for Bobby Witt Jr., somebody who was drafted second overall by the Royals in 2019, right out of high school, and now they've decided that they want to keep him for the long term. That's very cool, and again, that's all part of the commitment. The only thing bigger, I think, than the commitment is the actual statement that the Royals are trying to make here as part of this deal. Where they've been, where they're at right now, where they're trying to go, but most importantly, how they intend to go about their business in the process. You think about the Royals historically, they've never been known to hand out a big deal in terms of years or dollar amounts. Their previous largest player contract was to Salvy Perez. 4 years, $82 million back in 2021. And they love Salvador Perez in Kansas City. There's no question about that. One of the true icons of the franchise. He deserved that dollar amount, probably deserved even more than that, but that's where he settled back in 2021. Now enter a new largest contract by a wide margin. Bobby Witt Jr., 11 years, $288 plus million. It gives you perspective here. To triple the amount of what Salvador Perez is making in his contract is more than significant, but equal to that, Bobby Witt Jr. was still 4 years away from free agency. And the team locked him up for the next 11 years. Yeah, forget the dollar amount if you can for a second. It's more about the timing of this. The Royals didn't necessarily need to do this, but they wanted to. I'm going to play you their social media video here without the audio. I don't want to get busted for copyright, but did you see all those comments there from Royals fans on social media? Sign him, extend him, keep Bobby Witt Jr. for as long as you can. And that's exactly what they did. Look at their slogan, our guy, our team. There's the signature, well, not actually from the contract, but Bobby Witt Jr., that smile probably reflects how he's feeling right now. And this is crazy about Bobby Witt Jr. It feels like just the other day we were watching Bobby Witt Sr., pitcher actually for the Oakland A's for a short period of time, but he had a long Major League Baseball career. And now we get Bobby Witt Jr., who's 23 years old. As I mentioned before, was drafted second overall by the Royals in 2019, right out of high school. Made his MLB debut in 2022, and last season played 158 games. What a workhorse at shortstop as well as DH. Had a .276 batting average, a .495 slugging percentage, 30 dingers, and 49 swipes last year. Oh yeah, he's also the team's shortstop, a .977 fielding percentage on the left side of the infield. In 2022, when he broke into Major League Baseball, he actually finished fourth in American League Rookie of the Year voting, and this past year, he finished seventh overall in American League Most Valuable Player award voting. Again, the Royals were not one of the hotter teams in the American League, so for him, at shortstop, as a 22, 23-year-old, to finish seventh in MVP voting kind of gives you an idea of what Bobby Witt Jr. is all about. Now, going back to the statement side of this for the Kansas City Royals, you remember the Salvador Perez contract. That's actually reflected here as one of the lower-paying, largest contracts by MLB team. These are all the teams and their largest contract that they've ever awarded. So there is that Salvador Perez contract right there, 2021, about $80 million. Before this, the Kansas City Royals were one of only 3 teams across all of Major League Baseball that had never been part in a $100 million player contract. Well, that obviously changes with this almost $300 million deal across 11 years. The green arrow points to where the Royals sit now with this Bobby Witt Jr. transaction, which leaves only the Oakland A's. That's Eric Chavez's deal back in 2004, and the Chicago White Sox as the only 2 Major League teams that have never been part of a $100 million player contract. Kansas City quickly escaping that conversation. All it took was one big player that they wanted to hang on to, they committed to, And now they're out of that threesome right there. So the Royals right now, you think about their franchise, where they sit, where they stand, what they're trying to do. Off the field, trying to secure a new ballpark in Kansas City. They've got multiple sites, at least 2, if not 3 legitimate options with renderings and plans, and they're trying to get the financing all together. But this is a Royals team right now that really wants to entrench itself in Kansas City and stay there and get a replacement for Kauffman Stadium. Understandably, it's the only home they've ever had in Kansas City, and yeah, they're probably due for a new one. But on the field, actually, this past winter, so technically that's not on the field yet, but they've been among the most active American League teams in terms of signing free agents. Adam Frazier, Seth Lugo, Hunter Renfroe, Will Smith, Michael Wacha, and now obviously keeping one of their prized sons in Bobby Witt Jr. So the Royals have meant business this offseason, and I think a large reason why is because they really look at the AL Central as a winnable division. Last year was there only, for the majority of the season, one team with a winning record that was in first place. Was that the Minnesota Twins? And then Cleveland wants to be in the mix, and they're trying to get better. The Royals are trying to improve. Obviously, the White Sox have struggled. And the Tigers, who knows what to expect season by season. But the Royals probably see all of this as an opportunity. I'm going to be honest here. Also, a big part of this signing is simply the optics. Think about the community, the local fan base, politicians with influence in the area. They're all watching what the Royals are doing and how they're doing it. They're big fans, probably, of Bobby Witt Jr. They want to keep him for the long haul, and so by doing that, it sends a message from this team to everybody in the community that they mean business. And they're trying to do this the right way. They're trying to be competitive in this very winnable AL Central division. They want things to start happening sooner than later. And all of this, again, it's a commitment. Yeah, obviously, it's a big financial commitment. But all of this really is a statement, I think, by the Kansas City Royals, a franchise that's known to be part of a small market fan base and situation. And there's no denying that. There's no questioning it. But by the moves they've been making lately, and especially this one is like the cherry on top, they're not acting like a small market team. They're acting like a big player out there. And because of it, quite honestly, let's see what they do in the next couple years on and off the field. They might just get everything they want. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That'll help me and this channel, and I really appreciate it. And if you're just stopping by here for the first time, you've never seen me before, that's awesome. I'm glad you're here, and make sure you subscribe so I can definitely see you back here next time.